Fantastic. Thank you, sir.
Maybe we'll get there. I was out there a couple times, so you could shoot the side view mirrors and the streets.
All right, folks, we all set? One second here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right in the sun.
Yeah, I know. We could have done a little bit better of a.
They want you nice and bright.
I can't wear my sunglasses. That's not good.
You all set? Waiting on. Coming through?
Well, that was a quick press conference.
All right. Okay, guys. Yeah, get right there. All right.
Okay. Sorry.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nate Martin, Commissioner of Public Works, City of Buffalo. Just want to give everybody a little bit of a storm update today. Day 5 of the weather storm that we've had here in Buffalo, the snow event, the historic snow event, as we all know. Yesterday, we had really some good progress here in terms of that first phase that we talked about, the punch through. All the streets of South Buffalo, Kaisertown, Lovejoy, those hardest impacted areas with that, close to 4 feet of snow in some areas, getting that first pass, the emergency access vehicle pass through. That was our highest priority just from a life safety and a residential perspective. So that has been completed across this part of the city. We've done that with contractors, outside forces, private contractors, and researchers from the state of New York as well. So today we started with 113 pieces of equipment, heavy duty equipment, loaders and dump trucks. That's what we've got to use to remove that snow. Again, this area of the city, it's not a plowing operation, it is a snow removal operation, scoop by scoop, this heavy dense snow into a dump truck and hauling away to dump it. So it's a tedious process, but something we're working on. So 113 pieces of equipment this morning. Actually, I'm nice. It's glad to see this. We have 17 trucks that New York State allocated to us today, additional resources. We've got a lot of communication with them over the course of this storm. They've been helping us tremendously. So 17 more pieces of equipment just showed up, literally parked here to ready to get on the street. And tomorrow morning we have another 30 dump trucks coming from New York State. So again, they're mobilizing resources. All parts of West New York in this area that were affected by storms, we're all looking for those same resources, dump trucks and high loaders and that equipment to move it. So, we've got our full set of resources, private contractors engaged, and New York State's helping as well. So tomorrow we'll be in the neighborhood of 170 pieces of equipment, and that's a tremendous amount to keep snow moving out of these neighborhoods. So, the progress of moving through that first pass has come to, I don't want to say completion, but we're moving into that phase 2, which is really clearing more of the streets. So our approach on the streets at this point in time is from the edge of a car to the curb on the other side of the road, snow removal, street clearing. So we've been doing that. We've actually been doing it all along, but the focus on the punch through. But we really had a hard focus. We took 8 teams and distributed them across this part of the city, and we're making good, solid progress on that. We estimate at this point in time that today we're in the 40 to 45% range of streets in the city, in this part of the city, that have that clearance. That's a rough estimate at this point in time. We're getting those reports all day long. We've got our team and state inspectors on site, monitoring streets, giving us reports, moving resources, adjusting as we need to hit those, again, hardest areas and really get to some of those streets that are of most concern. So that process is moving along. And again, that's focused in South Buffalo, Kaisertown, and Lovejoy. The rest of the city, we continue to make progress with our DPW forces, sewer, water. We've got all the city resources in play, helping to clear, remove, push, pull snow out of the way as we need to in certain parts. So it's been a collective effort, certainly across the city resources and also with New York State. A couple notes, we've had a lot of questions and conversations about the GPS, so we know it is not 100% functional. We continue to work on that. We're updating, working with the vendor, trying to bring that up online as much as possible. It is online, it is operational. Some of the reporting just isn't there, so we're trying to tweak that and again, get that moving up to the 100% of functionality. So you will see some red on the streets that, in certain parts of the city that we know are supposed to be red. And I say that because state contractors and state contracting equipment, private contractors, those vehicles are not on the GPS. So for instance, down here, and again, Kaisertown, Lovejoy, South Buffalo, this area, the equipment that we're using is not on the GPS, so that's not updating all the time on our system, so you won't see that change. But other parts of the city, we do have the equipment moving around. So we're trying to work on the functionality again, but the resources here are really moving it. So that's the note on the GPS. And then sanitation and recycling, I want to emphasize today, we announced this, that is on normal schedule starting today. So if your garbage is to be picked up today, put it out, it's to be picked up today. The same thing for tomorrow, the same thing for Thursday and Friday, and then we'll resume next Monday, which canceled yesterday, then we'll resume that next Monday. So with that, that's a kind of a brief overview of where we're at on the storm update in terms of the DPW, and I'll open it up to any questions you might have.
You said that you're no longer engaged in a plowing operation anywhere in the city. But why are there people claiming that they haven't seen a plow come down the street?
Well, I didn't say we were engaged in plowing, so let me clarify that. So This part of the city is snow removal. I mean, you'll see some of our plow equipment tightening up some of the mains and streets, but a lot of the streets, plows could not get down, right? They just weren't accessible. So this part has been more snow removal. Other parts of the city, north, east, and west, our plows have been through, so I just want to clarify that. So we have had that equipment out. So, so residents here may not have seen a plow, but they've seen high lifts and dump trucks, and those have been spread out around the region. Other parts of the city, they will have seen a plow come through. We're still pushing through some of those tight streets on the west side that we're working through. The parking situation has been a little challenge. It always is. We know that. I think we've done a better job as a community, a department communicating that, the city communicating that, and I also will say the residents, for the most part, have been really helpful on that front. It's really, I think, helped some of our progress this year. So, so there have been plows around and equipment around. Maybe not the moment that you need it or want it. This is a broad area. We're trying to sort of hit all the areas simultaneously in a way. So it's a movement of resources. So we are around. Those plows are around and about.
How are you getting ready tomorrow for the school buses to be out to Buffalo's?
Yeah, so no, certainly, and we've had conversations with Buffalo Schools and their operations director, who I've spoken with personally. So we are making sure that what we need to do from a department, the streets and buttoning up crosswalks and sidewalks and some of those rounded corners, we're going to be ready for. Special attention to the schools themselves to make sure around those areas are clear enough. And same thing with some of the larger institutions, the medical campus or colleges and universities in the city as well. So.
Is it frustrating to you in the department that it never seems like it's good enough? I mean, there's always people, as Harold alluded to there, going to say that the plow hasn't been in front of my street, and they complain.
Yeah, you know, I won't use the word frustrating. I think it's understandable. You know, I personally have a lot of empathy for the residents down here who are buried under 4 feet of snow in some cases. Like, I want to get there as soon as we can. So, you know, I understand we're not going to be everywhere for everybody all the time. We're working as hard as I can. The men and women in the department are. Our contractor forces are. The state is. So we're working hard. So, you know, frustrating is not the right word. I guess I feel for what's happening with them, and we're working as hard as we can. So.
What about people who had their cars towed because of one situation or another?
Yeah.
Has it been easy for them to get their vehicles back?
Yeah, so the towing, and Commissioner Wagner from Parking could probably address this a little bit better than me. So cars, if they were towed, were communicated through the precinct, you know, in that area wherever they were towed. So there is a communication plan. If you have an issue, you can call up the precinct and they'll be able to help you out with where your car might have been towed if it was moved. We try to do a mini tow if we can, just somewhere around the neighborhood so it doesn't go too far away.
I know we've asked sometimes to make it so can you tell us any estimate of what this is going to cost us? I mean, is that still too early?
Yeah, it's really still too early. I mean, the numbers are, you know, the numbers are progressing every day. You know, I think the mayor mentioned, I think it was 260, I think the other day. So, you know, those numbers are adding up as we have equipment and resources dedicated to the residents. So, you know, we need to keep moving and moving forward and getting that snow removed with the resources we need. And there are resources and they're private contractors and you know, we're bringing that to the table for the residents. So it's early to tell that, you know, as the resources stay on board, the costs go up, but we're helping the residents. So.
I had a question about the speed humps. The
Yeah.
ones that were just put in my neighborhood are fine, but we heard from some people who said they got ripped up.
Yeah.
So have the plows been navigating that, or do the private contractors' equipment impact that differently than the city ones?
You know, they don't impact it any differently. You know, a scoop or a blade running along the street is kind of a similar process. So certainly the signs that are by all the speed humps give awareness. But in this kind of situation, maybe the sign is blocked by a higher pile of snow, so it might be hard to see. So some of those have been hit and have received damage. DPW will be on board to fix those next year, of course, when the weather breaks into the spring. So they were designed for heavy equipment and all kind of traffic to go over them. So, you know, the design is not an issue. It's just, you know, that they got hit by a plow blade and picked up. So we'll work on those.
Where are you taking all this snow that's being removed?
Yeah, so we've had, it's a good question. We've had 4 dump sites that we've had in operation since the beginning, Friday when we actually started moving. So the snow started Thursday night, so we actually started removing snow right away. Here is one of our sites right behind us, 1120 Seneca, but we've had 3 other sites. So 4 total across this part of the city. We've been taking snow and storing it, dumping it for now. There's an active, so there's 2 active currently at the moment. So we've got 4 of them around, yeah.
So when they're going through the neighborhoods that have already been plowed and there's still snow piled up, you know, at the curbs, Are they removing that still from different neighborhoods?
Well, you know,
Outside South Buffalo?
yeah, so our goal again is trying to get the access through the streets, get from a car to a curb. You know, as we hit those edges, we're certainly trying to knock those off, but our highest priority is kind of that access, get the streets running again. So, you know, that's going to be part of a cleanup process that'll be ongoing. If we can get them during this process, we certainly will, but if it's something we got to come back on, we'll do that.
Anything else? All right, thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you.
You have a card, by the way?
I
Yeah, and I have your name.
Oh.
Nate.
your colleague. Yeah, it's Nate, actually, first. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Hope I answered your question, so.
I think so. Another day. I'm like, hey, I'm like, another day. Okay, yeah. Feel good. I miss jeans and hoodie. Jeans, hoodie, and the knee. That's all I need.
Yeah, I'm wondering where the suit is.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed in you, Greg.
He'll be in his silks next week.
Yeah, I know.
Very, very disappointed, Greg. I expect more from you. Oh, I see the mayor's office hugs Channel 4.